So, I've talked to you guys forever and ever and ever about the art of asking questions and asking solution-focused brief therapy questions, being a skill and a craft and things you have to get better at. And kind of what started me on that journey is meeting a man named Chris Iveson early on in my learning about solution-focused brief therapy. It was important for me because it helped me understand solution-focused brief therapy beyond just as a theory, but moving towards like a craft and a skill and something I needed to build my skill set at and get better at doing. And that was a significant shift in my work. So I thought it'd be really cool to have kind of Chris join me and help me to explain what he thinks are the important things and what he thinks you need to do to be able to get really good at asking solution-focused questions in your sessions that are more likely to help the client create change and move their lives towards a desired outcome. So Chris, explain to people what it is that you think helps people master this art of asking questions.
Sticking at it would be probably the biggest thing, because when you're starting out, you don't feel very confident, and when things don't work, you are prone to giving up. So I was going to give up probably my 7th or 8th week of learning this with my 2 colleagues, Evan George and Harvey Ratner. We taught ourselves how to do it mainly from Steve DeShaze's book Clues. And at that time, back in the 1980s, we worked largely through exceptions, exploring exceptions. And I found myself working with an agoraphobic woman who there seemed to be no exceptions to her problem. And I was going to give up. But Harvey and Evan said I couldn't give up, and they made me see this woman again, and surprise, surprise, it worked very, very dramatically. But I might have given up if it hadn't been for my 2 colleagues. So one thing is to stick at it, don't expect to be brilliant. The other thing is, back then, I was definitely not brilliant, but it still worked. It still worked as well as it does now. I might be a little briefer now, a little smoother sometimes, but I'm no better in terms of outcome. So sticking at it is crucial. The other thing, and Elliot will have just told you this and told you this and told you this and told you this, is you have to know or adopt a position that clients can get themselves out of the holes that they're in. You have to believe that clients can do it. You have to believe that somewhere within them they have the wherewithal to take the next step in their life towards a better future. But always talking about taking a different step, a slightly different direction in life towards a better future. You have to believe that people can do that. And to develop that belief, you have to stop grubbing around in people's problems. Because the more you talk about people's problems, the more hopeless you get. And the more difficult the whole thing becomes. So just trust that all clients have resources, and in some ways, the clients that you're going to do best with are the ones in the most difficulty, because they're the ones that have got the most to gain. So don't be afraid of those clients with multiple problems. Seek them out. Do this stuff with them. You'll be amazed at the outcomes. Elliot, what else? What else should I say? What else do I know that I've forgotten that you can remember?
You know, Chris, I think that's it. So there you have it, who I consider to be the best person in the world doing this. In fact, the best who's ever done it. It's a craft, it's a skill, you have to work at it. And the number one thing is to don't give up. And remember that all of you who send me those emails and comments about like, how do you use this with clients who have these really big problems, like Chris would say exactly what I would say, is sometimes those are the clients that have the most significant shifts in this approach. So hang in there. Say bye, Chris.
Yeah, bye.